Alright, good afternoon, folks and folk S's. I know I did say there'd be no videos today, due to, a family member passing away, but it's just my way of taking things off my mind, and I did need to get this video done, so I'm going to get it done. I'm not looking for sympathy, I'm just letting you know why there's a slight delay in content. So this build is a 3.9 Scion Lab Farmer. It is a Chieftain, and it is, in fact, a Saboteur. So the theory behind this build was regen, spam your mines, regen up to 10% life, and then also have 2% life regen from Chieftain, fire damage, chance to cover rare or unique enemies in Ash, 10% strength, and it allows me to start from the Marauder tree, which gives me more life. So we're rocking 7,260 life. We have indeed done 1,000 lab box openings. We've yet to die in the lab, so it works. Even with really scuffed gear, it works. The gear I've managed to find is... I found 3 pairs of Death's Doors. I've farmed all the way up to a Headhunter. The build works. It's farmed me a lot of currency. It's been enjoyable to play. It hasn't been frustrating. And the theory behind it, again, lots of regen, couple of endurance charges, and also just to not be a Juggernaut. Yes, you can do the lab as a Juggernaut. I've got loads of guides on YouTube as a Juggernaut. But I just got bored of playing Juggernaut Earthquake, and I wanted to try something different, and I've never played as a mine. The build's really simple. It's a 5-link Tremorod, which costs, at the time of recording, let's have a look, 25C. You can link it for less than that. Trying to 6-link this one with no luck. Fire Pen, Pyroclast Mine, Minefield, Elemental Focus, and Combustion. You can tell how much lab I've done because I went in the Uber Lab at level 74. I'm almost level 90. I've not done any maps. I've only done lab. I'm a lab rat. Get my tail out. I'm a lab rat. So those are your links. I personally went in and I bought a corrupted Pyroclast Mine Gem at level 20. That obviously makes it level 22. It cost about 2 Chaos Orbs. Just a corrupted one, no quality. Crushes everything in the lab. We've got a cast on damage taken setup of Wave of Conviction, cast on damage taken, a Mortal Call, and Enfeeble. Keeping them at 7, 5, 3, and 1, just so it constantly goes off. The Comb's Heart, I didn't have a Comb's Heart to begin with. I just had a chest piece from an Incursion Temple. It was like 10% max life, 150 life, cost 5 chaos. You don't even need to link it, that's the benefit. So it doesn't need any sockets, so it's super cheap. Rings just to get you capped. You can see I've got a Headhunter in my tab, and my rings have got crafted mana on that do nothing, mana regen that does nothing. They're awful rings. They're like 1 Chaos Orb. The only thing that's half decent, and even this is pretty trash, this costs 5 Chaos. A Marble Amulet that gives you regen. It's got a tiny bit of dexterity on it and flat life. I put fire damage on it, and I allocated this here, Volatile Mines, and this was one of my last upgrades. It lets you throw 2 additional mines, gives you some detonation speed, and damage taken basically for each enemy near it up to 10%. The idea, again, you're just picking up life, heading up, picking up through the traps and the mine section, getting the damage, picking up a couple power charges, a little bit of mine crit, life, crit chance for spells. It's a real generic tree, and then this is like the main source of damage, this wheel. I'll try get a paste bin in, but honestly you can just look at my profile. It's the most generic mine tree you can see. That's how it goes. So you can see basically what happens is you put a mine down, you press detonate, then if you hold right click it just starts absolutely taking off with detonations on detonations, and it's pretty hectic, and it just one-shots a Zaro. So I'll run you through the lab just to give you a look of what it's like, and yeah, that's it. I like doing lab. I enjoy the lab as a piece of content, and I've always done a guide for my build. This one worked really well, and the reason I'm saying it is it wasn't to be expected to work. That's why I enjoyed it. That's why I'm posting the build, because everyone can play a Juggernaut, you know, but for me it was interesting because I just didn't expect it to work. It turns out it does work, and what I'm doing here is I'm just weapon swapping to some Bright Beaks. They're not that fast. Honestly, Flame Dash is pretty damn... what's the word I'm looking for? It's pretty damn competitive these days when it comes to overall speed. Like, Flame Dash is pretty rapid. So also I've got Enduring Cry. I just occasionally spam that, and because I've found Death's Doors, it gives me 4 endurance charges and it doesn't bleed. Now the thing I did use is I used that 1 Chaos Amulet for the longest time to avoid the bleeding until I got Death's Doors. And then you can see the damage on Argus. You know, super quick kill, really safe, just blow him up from distance. My very, very first runs at level 74 were a lot closer, I will admit. But I have never died. As long as if you know what you're doing in the lab, you know, it's chill. You've got a golem here for regen, and that golem's got taunt on it. So occasionally he taunts Azaro. We won't do the silver key just for this run. But yeah, I mean, it's not absolutely rapid. It's not the world's... you know, I'm not going to sit here and claim that it's the world's safest lab build, but I've yet to die, and I feel like you have to be borderline AFK to die, which, let's be honest, you probably shouldn't be doing anyway. But yeah, the main concept of the build is you can detonate mines, which give you a ton of regen. You can Enduring Cry for regen. You've got a Stone Golem for regen. You've got all of your Ascendancies in your amulet, and the idea is you just run around. You just got enough damage to just blow everything up. I haven't died on charges. I haven't died on fonts or anything like that. It's pretty damn chill. This is a lockbox, so we will do this. I do believe when they're all turned off, you just press them all. So let's see if that theory is correct. It is. I should know that now after doing thousands of lab runs, but, you know, you can always make a fool of yourself, can't you? So this is it. Thudding your way through the traps. Occasionally I will weapon swap, because I just think sometimes, just dependent on traps, because it's not a juggernaut, sometimes the flame dash is more useful. But you can see, you know, it's, you know, you get low, you regen back up. If you for some reason ran out of pots, you can just detonate mines, which at the beginning of the build was a pretty big godsend, because yeah, the build, you know, everyone's build at the beginning of the league, it's not the best, is it? That's a trove, so we'll skip that. And yeah, you could even, you know, I've got so much regen, I've got a spare slot. I am using Valar F, because at the beginning it was like a 1-alch gem, and my damage was good, but I just had enough regen that I thought, hey, I'll throw in the Valar F. You could put a Blood Rage in, get 3 frenzy charges whilst you leap around, something like that. That could work. So today's probably like the rippiest day for the lab. It is a charges and it is conduits, I believe. So it's like the full LE day and charges. Now I'm not going to tank a slash, but with this much life you can do. Now obviously when you haven't got 7k life, yeah, you're going to have to be a little bit careful, but honestly, my rings are so bad. You can see here my golem's taunting Azaro, just allowing me to get my endurance charges up. Pretty nice little idea there, if I say so myself. So yeah, you can just drop the mines. It just one-shots him. It's the most damage I've had as a labber, because normally on the lab you're like chipping away. You know when you used to play Slayer and you'd cull him in the 3rd phase? That's what it feels like now. To be honest, the damage in the last phase is just a one-shot, so it doesn't really matter how rippy it is. There's no extended fight. A simple 5-link Pyroclast mine with some fire nodes like we've got, and crit, and also we're getting chance to get a power charge when we detonate, and a diamond flask. It really does make all the difference, and I just thought I'd showcase the build because some people might be bored of playing Juggernaut, and I was pretty surprised the build worked, and I've enjoyed it, and it's found me a lot of currency, and I'm going to continue to do the lab until I get bored. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it. The only time it feels like you might die is on the trap where the green stuff is on the floor and you're not meant to use movement skills, and you kind of zone out, you don't have endurance charges up, and you just sort of panic and press all your movement skills. That's just like a lab thing though. Pantheons are just the physical damage reduction ones. That's it. Because we're in the lab, that's all we're really trying to do. But yeah, the 1C amulet is a godsend. It just has the mod, you don't take extra bleeding damage when you move. Which, at the beginning, I will admit, I was struggling with the build, and I was thinking, it's not that smooth. This is going to be awkward. I don't want to be having to stop for traps, because if you're a labber, you don't have to be stopping and thinking about traps, right? But that amulet was a godsend. Death's Doors these days are like 90C. I've had 3 pairs drop. Incredibly lucky. But you're going to farm 90C in the lab very, very quickly, because you only need to put money into offerings. You don't need to buy maps, or you don't need to alch maps. So, yeah, the lab's like still, it's nerfed, I will admit. If you're wondering about the actual state of the lab, yeah, it's pretty heavily nerfed. I think they're trying to phase people out of doing the lab. But you get a few good enchants. You're still in the money, aren't you? And I just find it a relaxing playstyle. I just put my music on. You know, this trap here is probably like the riskiest trap because there's spinning ones, and I'm kind of just blindly leaping through like that. But if you got in a tough situation, you can just regen back up. And honestly, like, unless you go completely AFK mode, well, I've not died, and I go AFK quite a lot, so this is how it is. This is a particularly long lab. It's like a backwards gold door start. I went into the side. I went into the side room from Argus to avoid the main path, just to show you the damage for Argus. So yeah, it's kind of a long lab, but absolutely breezes through it, one shots everything, and I've just thought I'd show it. Don't really have too much else to say. I'm trying to think of like little tips I can give. Occasionally, like I say, just swap to Flame Dash because it's more useful. You know, you can just hit the X button and swap. I actually forgot the key this time because I am recording. Normally I get that silver key. But it's been chill, really enjoyed it. And I'm posting it not because I think it's the best build in the world or anything like that. I just think it's been different. I don't see many people playing a Scion Pyro-classed regen Chieftain Saboteur lab farmer. It's quite a little special snowflake build, and that's what I thought it was going to be. I thought, oh, it's pyro class mine, it's probably going to have enough damage to one-shot things, but can it actually be a labber? Because you can kill Argus and you can do a lab. Like, anyone can get through the lab once, but can you actually run it? That's kind of the test, isn't it? And yeah, it runs lab absolutely fine. There's been no deaths, no problems. The gear, again, I rolled out with from the campaign was simply solo self-found life resists. That's it. The gem, the staff and the gems are going to give you the damage. There's a little bit on the tree, but it's mainly just crit-based stuff, which, to be honest, I could probably drop and get even more life. Like, if we've been realistic, I'm not mapping with this build. I was intending to map with it. You could definitely drop some crit nodes, even power charges, because for the last lab, you don't really have power charges up because you only get it from detonating, and you kind of just one-shot him anyway. Like, you can see here, I have no power charges, and I'll begin to throw my mines down here, and I'll get ready to detonate and blow him up. And, you know, yeah, they come up and I get 5, but it's such an overkill. You could easily get rid of all of these and just get a ton more life. Jewel sockets, you know, if you're struggling. So that's another thing, don't forget. You don't have to carbon copy a build. I'm just giving you an idea. Something maybe sparks an idea in your mind of what you want to do. But for sure, definitely works. Farmed a ton with it. Really enjoyed playing it. And yeah, in fact, now that I'm thinking about it out loud, I probably should lose some damage because I have I'm way overkill in that department, which honestly is not something you typically have when you're lab running. Normally, you're Juggernaut, you just start out and you're thudding your way through. But nah, this one, it's not going to be a fair test because I've got 8k life. But honestly, it doesn't matter. I'm one-shotting the boss at the end anyway. Like, that's just kind of how the build functions. I'm actually trying to get through this lab because I've ordered food. Like I say, family member passed away, busy Christmas making videos, I've had a ton of support on YouTube, it's wonderful. Just needed a break, so I thought I'm just going to order some food and probably watch some TV. I know that's got nothing to do with the guide, but hey, I'm just being honest, like, taking a little break. But any questions you want about the build, I've got a little forum guide that I've posted. It's not so much a guide, but just more of a post about the build, so if you've got any specific questions, drop a comment in, sorry, if I could actually just think about what I was saying, yeah. Drop them in the YouTube comments, or if you don't like YouTube and you want to use the forums, you can do that. See here, this is where I like to use the flame dash, because I just find this bit a little bit messy with leap slam, so this bit's okay with leap slam, you know, but the flame dash is a little bit useful for certain situations. Yeah, this lab's kind of a pain one, but hey, it shows you all kinds of traps. We've got gold doors, we've got all sorts, so pretty good little test run here. But hey, and a twice bless, trickle into the arena, everybody. So there we go, that's kind of the run. Just making sure no one's at the door. Feel like I've done that much lab this league. I've done 200 twice enchanted. I've done thousands of lab box openings. I feel like I should paint my door gold at this point. So what I like to do is just throw a couple traps down and get rid of them. I like to put one back here so I don't accidentally stand in this area. Then it detonates, and then you just drop a load down. You have flame dash out of the way. Obviously, because I'm streaming, I flame dashed through everything and almost got myself killed, but trust me, that's not happened before. That was just, that's me trying to play and talk at the same time. The amulet, I'll tell you what it is. This is the amulet, okay? It's this one. The blood grip. If you're struggling and you haven't got death's doors, just wear this. It's like 1C. It just means you can leap slam through traps. Chill. Let's roll our enchants in. Arctic breath duration, shattering steel, extra proj, doesn't look too good. 45% chance to gain an additional power charge on kill with power siphon. Not the best, but I know someone is doing a power siphon build, so maybe it's worth 30C or something if they don't want to buy the expensive enchant and they just want to buy something. That was it. There'll be a path of building hopefully in the description. As always, if you've enjoyed the content and you're thinking like supporting, it's very much appreciated. That's it really. As you can see, the gem box isn't too hot. That's all I've really got to say. Have a wonderful time. That's it. That's the lab build. Regen, Pyroclast, Mine, Deathless. Farmed a ton of currency. Super enjoyed it. Take it easy.